Okay. KG. Fine. And guys, what about the fact that we broke above? What about this pause? Hmm? What about that pause? Hmm? What about that song playing and we have two scenarios? It's either we're gonna or we're gonna. What happened here? I'm not sure if you remember that. I'm not sure if you remember that.
I remember you saying something about the song pausing somewhere, but then eventually the song would play again. I just can't remember.
What about this? What about that? What about that? What about that? Hmm? So either we get that or we get that. Get that. You know what this is. So, do you still say Lucky in this case? You would still expect a boom and then like that. You kamu, you naledi. Are you still adamant about that? Are you still about, okay, I'm gonna wait for this market to actually come to this level? Are you still about that?
Yeah, for the fact that already had it time, then I can still believe that it'll have a scenario. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't this scenario that Sia was using, playing a tune and then?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
listen, guys, the market already had been having an upward trend. So for the fact that it was having like a, I don't know what to call this, but I forgot what to call it.
Consolidation.
A sideways trend. It's not like an upward or downward trend. So since it was already having an upward trend, why not another upward trend after that? That's my question.
So no, you're right. And I think this is what we're all saying in this case, because no one said this market actually will come to this level.
Go down.
Everyone had said that what we're looking at here, we're seeing this market actually breaking through this level. Cool, roger that. But we can see that this market is to come to that level. This is what everyone is basically saying or saying in this regard, which is we have identified the trend. We have identified the trend. That's why I wanted this to take so long, so that we all understand what we're fucking doing. So we have identified the trend. We're moving up. Oh, from where we're moving, there's a higher probability that yes, we can come here and then we go up. Also, we can just go up. We have identified the trend. What is very important as well here, based on what you guys have been saying, is no one is saying that, oh, okay, now that this market we're saying it's going to come down here before it goes up, why don't you just fucking sell it and then get out here? No one has said that, which is you have identified the trend. You're looking for a buy opportunities only. Why would you? Yes, you understand that there's a higher chance that we're going to get a pullback before we go up, but you're not about to sell it. No. You always want to trade with the trend. Okay. This boils down to a very important chapter or topic that we are basically going to be talking about tonight, and that is basically breaking down the time frame. And the breaking down the time frame boils down to trading with the trend. Okay, this is a bigger time frame. We have identified. Look at this. Everyone was sort of. Everyone is adamant about this market being a bullish market. Roger that. We're going up. Either we're going up that way or we're going up that way, right? Cool. But we all understand that should this market then come below this level, there's no fuckery buy here. I'm out of this. If this market comes below here, then my fucking setup is not, this whole buy is not valid. Do we agree? Does everyone understand that part? That the
Yes.
basically we're saying that as long as we come down here, we do that. I'm looking for I don't care. However, if this market happens to come below here, my buy focus is not valid anymore. I'm not about to look into this chart. My analysis are not valid. So this is we have identified the trend. This is a 30 minutes time frame. This is how you also get a perfect entry. This is a 30 minutes time frame. This is what you would do. You might not have the tool, but this is basically how I color things. There. Okay. I'm saying my stop loss will be below here. Why? Because if we come below once you reach here, then fuck up. That's it. It's done. Okay. If this market happens to come here, therefore, this buy is not valid. Why do you put a stop loss at a certain place? It's not because of how much money you're willing to lose. It's because you're saying, should the market reach this part, then my analysis were wrong. We do not put a stop loss because of how much you want to lose. We put a stop loss because we're saying that if the market reaches a certain level, which is this level, then these analyses were wrong for a buy. I want to get out. There's a higher probability that this market will continue to go down. That is how we put a stop loss. That's the reason behind a stop loss. Why do you put a stop loss there, Naledi? It's because if the market reaches this price level, then my analysis were wrong. There's a higher chance this market will continue just going down and I want to get out. Not because if I'm putting it here, I'll be losing. No, that's not the reason for putting a stop loss. It's understanding market behavior. Cool. The stop loss will be there. Understand, I haven't spoken much about the take profit. I haven't focused on that. Let's look, where would you put, where's our target in this case? Guys, this is very important. I'm not recording it. Our target is up there. Okay. 1 to 7. Let me just make it, I just want to make this thing maybe 1 to 8. Perfect scenario. This is 1 to 8, meaning that if you're risking 100 Rand, the target is 800 Rand. Okay, is this worth it? Yeah, I mean, this looks cool. This looks valid. This is, yeah, it's okay. Right, cool. Now, that's the fucking target. If the market comes here, I'm out. Let me just raise it up a bit, make it 1 to 7. Yeah, let me make it up right here, up to 7. It's fine. Still perfect, right? If we're looking at this, guys, this is risk reward. Stop loss there, take profit there, right? Your entry there. Do you agree? In this scenario, you're basically saying it boils down to scenario 3, like in Naledi and Damu and other guys. In this scenario, it's basically saying, you know what, I'm not going to buy you yet. I'm going to expect you to come down here. I'm going to expect you to give me what I'm expecting you to give. And I'm going to buy you right there. And I'll put my stop loss maybe right there. It depends. Right? That's basically what you're looking for. Also, again, you know the other candlestick that we can be expecting up there, right? Cool. That's basically it. That's basically it. But now, Sianda, what about this scenario? What about the scenario whereby you're saying this market here is consolidating? Then how is this valid? How is this valid? Let me just make this consolidation cleaner. How about, in this case, we're in a consolidation in that box, right? And then how am I going to trade this then? Because you're saying that, Sianda, we should wait for this market to come here before I could buy it, correct? Correct, guys?
Yes.
How about, how am I going to trade it then if I'm taking Rose's scenario whereby they said, Bona, fuck it, they, not that, right? And then I forgot who else, it's Pam that also went with this scenario. How do I enter that trade then, Sian? How do I enter a trade whereby I'm not expecting a pullback to come here before we go up? I'm expecting this thing to just fucking move. Then how do I fucking execute my trade? One thing that you understand is the market does not just move. The market, correct? This is important, people. From here, we can move up, we can pull back, move up, pull back, there. This is basically what we expect the market to behave. This is how we expect the market to behave. You will notice that here, there's a rejection happening here, people. You will notice that. After this market broke through, it pulled back. Right here, this is where you would expect to find your stuff. Correct? Correct, people? Hello?
Yeah.
Also, you'll notice here, we got a rejection there. Got a rejection there. When I expect this market to break through, let the market pull back. All the way up until we get there. Do you guys see what I'm trying to show you here? This is the same thing as this market coming down here. It moves. It does that. 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 If you had missed it there, you still have all the way up until we get there. Do you see what I'm showing you guys?
Yeah.
Now, we have identified the trend based on what we are looking at. Now, ladies, it's your background that's clicking, keyboard, and I think it is.
Yeah, sorry.
Cool. Now, based on what we're looking at, can someone guess my next comment? What would it be? What do you see here? The way that we're trading with what? We're trading with the trend. Do you see that? We're trading with the trend. What is the trend here? It is an uptrend. Do you realize that there's one thing that you're not fucking doing, which is you're not selling. You're not selling. You're not selling. All you do is to buy all the way up until you get there. You have identified this move from here to there. That was the first thing that you did. You said we're moving up. And there's only one thing that you'll be looking for in this is to fucking buy. But guys, do you also notice that, do you notice that, hey man, Matsia, you said this is a support level and that's a resistance level. But now you're saying I should buy in the middle. I mean, isn't this in the middle? Isn't this in the middle? Isn't this in the middle? Are you not asking yourself that, Clank?
Yes, I'm asking myself that question because you said that when the market is on no man's land, you said that we should wait until it hits our support, then we can be able to buy.
Sure. But based on what we just talked about, what do you understand about what we just did? Okay, I think your line is bad, my man. Your line is bad. I'm just going to jump into someone else. Anyone else who wants to comment based on their understanding that it looks like we're breaking the rules here. I mean, this is our support level. That's our resistance level. Why would you say I should buy here, I should buy there, I should buy here, buy here, buy here? Anyone else who sort of understand or who thinks why we will be buying there? Pamela, why are we buying there? I'm going to make it clear. Make it very clear. Pamela, why are we buying at 1, at 2, at 3? However, we have our support there and our resistance there. Why are we buying at no man's land? Pamela, do you want to give us an answer, please? If you have.
Yeah, because the market hasn't reached our resistance yet and it's still going up.
What if we're saying that's a resistance though? Because it looks like a resistance. Looks like a resistance.
No, we can't say that's a resistance because there's no other resistance that confirms.
Let's say there
that
is. Let's say there is. Why are we still buying in no man's land?
Because we're following the trend.
That's the first one. That's the first answer. You trade with
I
the
think,
trend.
I think this is where the trend lines get in.
Anyone else who understand what she's saying? Pamela, using a laptop or a computer or a phone? What are you using right now?
I'm using a phone.
Oh, snap. Okay. Anyone else who sees what she's talking about when she says the trend lines are stepping in now?
Yes, I think I'll agree with him.
There's that fucking trend line.
Yeah.
There's the trend line. There's the trend line. You're trading with the trend. You're trading with the trend. So in this case, we're saying that we're not just going to, yes, we have our support, we have our resistance. Now we say we can't buy in the middle of nowhere, actually, as long as we have identified the direction of the market. The first thing that we need to do, we need to identify the direction of the market. Once you're able to identify the market's direction, that's good. Support and resistance, it boils down to that. Identify the direction of the market. Then the trend lines, this is where they come in. Trend lines, this is where they come in. Trend lines, this is where they come in. I hope this makes sense. But it would be nice if you put this into practice and see it yourself. You can do reverse testing on your side as well. Now, guys, what's important in this, I think I'll just talk about it in this session. It is a 30 minutes time frame. In order for you to see those pullbacks, in order for you to see these, because that's a support, that's a resistance, but that is not a support and resistance of this time frame. Support and resistance of this time frame is this one. That's your support, that's your resistance. If you go into a lower time frame, in between you're gonna get other levels. If you go into a lower time frame, because lower time frames are obviously more volatile. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Please tell me, guys, if I should stop for tonight and then just grasp this concept that I'm talking about before I'm going to talk about breaking down the time frame. This is why I say I don't want to record these sessions, because we're getting deep now. And I'm not going to. If it means we're going to repeat this session again next week, we will. Rush that. I don't mind. But the most important thing here is, let me identify my trend. I mean, if you look at my levels of support and resistance, very clear, very clean, very spacious. Absolutely. That's one. That's why we spend so much time on support and resistance. That's our base. Everything else falls under that. Then the candlesticks. I'm going to make an example of what I want to talk about, but I don't want to dwell or talk about it too much because I might throw you off. I might miss you here. But this is very important what I've done here. I am going to take a picture of this and you can use it as a point of reference. You'll remember it. All right.
Soros, I just have a question here.
Yes, sir.
So we have three levels, right? So you have the resistance at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then yes, 0.2 and then 3. Would it make sense to actually look at the trend line that basically started from 3 all the way to above 2 type of thing?
We're gonna
the
get
moment we just spoke about
yes.
a trend from 2 to 1,
yes.
But now would it make sense to actually have a trend from 3 to 1 type of thing?
Yes, that is where we're going, right? So Kamu's question, guys, is saying hey man, would it make sense to have a trend line that starts from here that moves like that? Yes, That is where we're going. But when I like morale, no, don't come from the back, right? What I'm doing here, it's basically that, because when I break down the time frame, you'll see that thing that you're talking about. Don't worry. But what's important here, Gamma, is identify the trend first. If you had identified that trend first from here, Gamu, to all the way there, yeah, cool. Roger that. Have that. Do you see what I mean? Therefore, it basically means bounce, go. Are you with me? Okay. Again, if you identify your trend from here all the way, what that means is basically saying, I'm having a market that moves like this. There. Which is the same thing I'm about to talk about here. The most important thing is identify the trend. Identify the trend. So your question, basically having that trend from here all the way there, it would be if you were looking at a bigger time frame and going down, that's what I'm about to touch base on. Guys, identify the trend, know where the market is going. Once you have identified the trend, then you have a right to buy at no man's land. Each and every time frame has its own support and resistance. Each and every time frame has its own support and resistance. This support, this resistance, it is for this 30 minutes time frame. Cool. I am going to move to a lower time frame. What I want to show you, or what I would like to show you when I go to a lower time frame, you will see that we should have two levels there, or one level perhaps, in a lower time frame, because there's more noise. Remember that one candle that moves from here to here, maybe in 1 hour, in 5 minutes, it's many candles. Do you agree? Exactly. So now we're saying, let's go to 5 minutes actually to see these levels of support and resistance that makes this market to go all the way up there. That's what we're doing. Cool. Now, I'm going to go to 5 minutes time frame just to make this very easy. Remember, our main focus is there. I'm going to just zoom in my candles. Our focus is basically within this, so I'm just going to do that so that my charts are bigger. I want our focus to be here, guys. I am going to do support and resistance of 5 minutes within this 1-2 support and resistance of 30 minutes. Do you guys remember or agree this is support and resistance of 30 minutes? That's a resistance for 30 minutes.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Like I said, it's going to get more complicated. Our focus is within the space. We want to do support and resistance of 5 minutes. I'm looking for rejections that are happening within the space. Beautiful rejections that are happening within that space. I'm scrolling back. Obviously, you understand why I'm scrolling back. Come on. It's a 5 minutes time frame. That is why I have to move all the way back. Is it still moving? Nope. I don't have data. I don't have more data to move back. I'm going to move to a 15 minutes time frame. Let's see. Oh, fuck. No. When I move to 15 minutes time frame. Remember what I want to do, guys, to plot support and resistance of 15 minutes time frame. For 15 minutes time frame, maybe I might have just one level. Let's see if we can get two. Based on what I'm looking at these beautiful rejections that are very clear. But let's plot and see if they will be correct. I'm just going to use a different color for a 15 minutes time frame, support and resistance. I'm going to use a different color. Let me just use black. Where's another level? Do you agree another level maybe somewhere here? I'm looking at this one. This one, the reason why I'm looking at that, I'm looking at that. Do you see that? Do you see that, people?
Yes, yeah.
Also, we are in 15 minutes time frame. Do you agree that this level of 30 minutes, it is a level for 15 minutes as well? Ta-da, ta-da,
Yes.
ta-da. Okay, good. Even this one, this level of support for 30 minutes, it is a level for 15 minutes as well, right? Can you see that?
Yeah.
For 30 minutes, I have one support, I have one resistance. Do you agree?
Mm.
Within that one support and one resistance of 30 minutes, I have one support slash resistance, I have two support slash and resistance, I have three support slash and resistance, I have four support slash and resistance. Do you get the concept I'm showing you? Do you get the idea? Do you get what I'm showing you here?
Yes, yeah.
For 30 minutes, I'll say it again. For 30 minutes, I have one support slash resistance. Remember, this could be support, this could be resistance, correct? Depending what the market is at the time, correct? For 30 minutes,
Yes,
I have one support, I have slash resistance. In that support and resistance of 30 minutes, I have one support slash resistance of 15 minutes. Here's another two support slash resistance, three support slash and resistance, four support and resistance. Do you agree? Do you see what I'm showing you, people?
Yeah.
In a bigger time frame, you'll have, the smaller the time frame, the more noise you'll get, the more levels you'll have. If I'm looking at 15 minutes time frame, from here to here, that's enough. That's good. That's good. From here, that's good for 15 minutes time frame. Do you remember that we did identify the direction of this market, saying that it's going up? Right?
Yeah.
Come on,
Yes.
please wake up and see what I'm showing you now. Now, do you see this? Do you see?
Yeah. So,
We break, we pull back. We break, we pull back. Every time, same scenario is happening. Based on 30 minutes, you are buying at no man's land. So we say, but based on 30 minutes, we have identified the direction. But based on 15 minutes, you are literally buying where you're supposed to be. We're respecting the rules. I hope we understand what we're doing or what I'm showing you. Based on 15 minutes, if you had identified, let me move back. Guys, we are happy with these levels, né? I'm gonna move back.
yes.
If you had, Kamu, do you see what I just showed you is basically answering what you were asking about if you have a level there, 3, this and that. Do you see it? Good, good, good stuff. I'm gonna make this, just make this bigger. Now, people, what I'm showing you now is, let me move it this way so that you don't cheat. What I'm showing you is trade with the trend, identify the flipping trend first, because what's going to happen is, hey, but see, you said we sell at resistance, we buy at support. Yes, I never changed that. I'm not changing it. You're gonna get scenarios like this. Let's say you're looking at a 15-minute time frame. You see the market coming here. Pam, where's this market? At support or resistance?
And resistance.
Right.
Support.
Aibo, support.
Support.
Support. Who's that?
Set resistance.
Yeah, someone said support. Hey. Pam, where's this market?
See, yeah, it's at resistance.
You're telling us, not me.
For 15 minutes time frame, yeah.
It's at resistance. We all see that. And what do we do when the market is at resistance, KG?
sell here.
So what would you do in this case when this market is here?
I would sell.
Hey, when? So what would you sell?
Because my market is at resistance.
And
Candle. The candle is also showing.
like now once I do just spoke what you're doing, eh?
Sell and the trend line.
Like now once I do just spoke what you're doing. What?
By the candle.
What about what?
And then they take profit.
And the take profit would be here. KG.
So just above.
Yeah.
And your take profit would be here.
Yes, I would put it there.
And your stop loss would be there.
And then my stop loss would be yes. Yes, where you know.
So basically, you now already you would sell this market there, and where's this thing now? So we're now already you will sell that market there like that. Your stop loss will be there. Your take profit will be there. Beautiful stuff. That's what you say you'll do.
Yes.
Anyone else would do that as well? I mean, this looks perfect. We have resistance. We have a candlestick that belongs at resistance. Anyone else would sell this? I mean, we can see the risk reward is it's worth it. Anyone else? Lucky, that's you?
Yes. Yes.
So everyone would sell. Lucky would sell, Ntlantla would sell. Anyone else? Naledi, you're not saying a thing.
No, I wouldn't sell.
Aibo, guys. Who else wouldn't sell? It doesn't make sense now. I think. It doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't sell.
Who else wouldn't sell?
I also wouldn't sell. I wouldn't sell here.
Rose, your side?
I'm going with the ladies. I wouldn't sell.
It looks like you're not sure why. It looks like, Rose, you're not sure why. Why wouldn't you sell? Let's start with you.
Sia, the reason I wouldn't sell is I'm aiming. I want the trend lines is that it's going to go up again.
Which trend line?
Is going to go up.
Anyone else?
It's going to go down, but then not till the support level. I don't think till the support level.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to support from the people that wouldn't sell? Why they wouldn't sell? Anyone who wouldn't sell just to support? My lady Pam.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't sell as well.
Support document or what do you call this?
For me at this point, I think it also just depends on the style of trading that you want to do. I think the selling thing would work for a person who wants to scalp. But for me, I know it would be so unrealistic. So I would rather just stick to following the trend and just keep it at that and try to keep buying until we get to resistance that we've drawn up.
You're done. You're done. Keep it short, keep it simple. Yeah, you are doing your homework. You are doing your homework, guys. I hope you heard what she said.
The aim was to trade with the trend.
Yes. So why these guys are doing why are you selling? Yeah, but this is why I moved from here. This is why I moved from here. If you understand, this is why I moved from here because basically this is what we have. That's what we have. We have identified the trend moving up. That's why I moved away from this because I knew someone was going to get the makar. Absolutely. There's no way to sell this. There's no way. We went to a lower time frame to look for an entry specifically for one reason. That reason was only to buy. That's it. Chigi, you're selling because no. You must know why you went to a lower time frame. You're going to buy or to sell. That's it. Kamo. Bigger time frame gave you the direction. 30 minutes told us that we're going up. Why now all of a sudden you see the noise you're selling? Stick to the plan.
just one question. I mean, couldn't we capitalize on the retracements?
No,
That's why for me I thought
no.
I could just go first or just to capture that small movement.
But then how do you capitalize basically? But then it boils down to Naledi gave a perfect answer about scalping. But then but now again, Kamuka is doing his tendencies. He's being in denial. If you're speaking about capitalizing, that means when you're looking into a chart, you can buy and sell at the same time on this chart because you want to capitalize. And also, would it make sense, because you said also your TP would still be there, would it make sense to capitalize all the way there? Because if we understand trends of how the market moves, we can get a push, we go up, we push, we go up. So the minute that this market is back at this support, that's something different. But you're being in denial. There is no reason, capitalization and stuff, no. The only reason is basically say what she said. Scalp. That's the only reason. Scalp. Scalp. In and out very quick. Take a trade, go peak, come back, close it. Take a trade, press it, close it. That's it. But when you're scalping, you're basically knowing that you're actually fucking yourself over. It's best or better to even scalp to the market's direction for that case. There's no way for a sell in this case. Impossible. No. We have identified our trend, guys. We have identified our trend. Also, with the scalping, that can bite you in the ass. Why? Because we could be looking at a 4-hour time frame or a daily time frame. So you can't be saying that I'm going to be scalping from here to here. That's a lot of movement there for a 30 minutes time frame. If this is, imagine this is a 30 minutes time frame. You're saying, I'm going to scalp from here to here. No. The same thing that we're looking at here, the behavior of whatever. We do not care what time frame we're looking at. So someone maybe might ask which time frame is best or whatnot. As a bigger time frame identifies the direction. You then go to a lower time frame to trade with the direction that you have gotten from a bigger time frame. Remember that the big boys, they trade bigger time frames, guys. They don't trade our 1 minute and stuff like that. No. Right? The big boys, they trade bigger time frames. They are the ones that look at daily time frame stuff like that. So they push their price. So we want to trade with those guys. There is no way, Kamu, to say that capitalize. Well, the fact that you didn't use the word scalp, capitalize, you're just being in denial. And it will bite you, absolutely. If you scalp, if you capitalize within the direction, people. Capitalize within the direction, because if you do that opposite direction, you'll be wrong most of the time. Most of the time, the trade will just kick your stop loss, or just rather do that in a safe direction. Identify the trend first, and then scalp within that trend, or execute your trade within that trend. Even when you scalp, you always want to scalp. Personally, I would scalp within that direction of the market. Remember, scalping, it's in and out, it's in and out. Not that there's nothing wrong with you scalping opposite the trend, but why would you want to trade against the trend? Why would you want to trade against the trend if you understand that, yes, we can come to this level, and then you get that. And then instead of, the market might not do that. The market might consolidate and continue going up. I'm not sure if you understand the whole point of scalping within the direction still. There's a higher probability that this market will go up than coming down. Yes, even if it comes down, but you always want to trade within the higher probability. I hope this makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So basically, you're saying, well, the fact that we chose that scenario, the one that was wrong, it was mainly because a bit impatient.
No. Which scenario? This one, or this one, or in?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely,
Hey.
absolutely, absolutely. No, there's no way. No ways. Remember, everything has to belong where you might have everything, but if it's not where it's supposed to be or whatnot, no. We have to trade with identify the trend. Identify the trend. Now, if you have a big account, you can fucking just, you know what, I'm gonna take this trade, yeah. I'm not gonna wait for this market to retrace. I'm not gonna wait for this market to pull back, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna buy it there. Or if this market perhaps comes here, and then you don't even have your confirmation, and you always say, you know what, I'm not gonna wait for all that bullshit. I'm just gonna take my buy and put my stop loss there. But it is very important that if you're having a small account, which you will start with a very small account, to always make sure that you trade at the right levels. You're trying to eliminate, if your market goes up, it does this. If you want to take a buy here, what you're trying by all means is, you're trying by all means not to give a market the room to go against you. Because if this market happens to just come deep like that, when it gets there, it blows your fucking account. So how do you eliminate that room? By going down to the lower time frame. You're trying to execute that trade here, and by God's grace, that market after execution being there, it goes your way. You don't have that room. If your account is big, then roger that. So there is people that teach how to trade, but that trade big accounts, and they'll teach you not knowing that now you don't have 50,000, 100,000 to risk. And then these guys like, take a trade if it's here, take that trade. It's fine. But that's not the best thing to do for someone who's going to trade a small account, because maybe your stop loss even... No. The point here is to try by all means to execute that trade at the correct level. Imagine right now. 15 minutes time frame, where are we? That's a resistance level. Correct? That's a fucking resistance level. It is. Why would you buy there? No. But in this consolidation, let it break, let it pull back, and then buy it. That's the right way of doing it. That's a resistance level what this market is. So we can still come back here to do a pullback because we are at a resistance before we go out. Right? That's a resistance level. Can you see there? Another thing that we have is we can break, let it pull back. Wait for it right there. Wait for it right there after that pullback before you take it. That's all I'm saying. Don't buy it now. That's all I'm saying. I'm sure we can all see that. We can all see that. That's a resistance. Let it pull back. Or let it break this resistance, which it will be support. Let it pull back. That's what we're saying.
Sorry, I just have another question.
Yes.
So now, once the market reaches the resistance of 30 minutes,
this
right?
one,
so it goes all the way up there.
Yes, sir.
Cool. And then, because now we understand the momentum is going up, and then once it hits that resistance, and it releases that bearish pin bar, is it a safe way to say, hey, look, maybe now the trend is really going down to the risk of 30 minutes, support.
Then when the market reaches there, what happens is, do your analysis again. You start all over. We start all over. Target reached. Start all over. You start all over. The same reason why you were looking for a buy, or same thing. You start all over. So again, to clarify the question to everyone, If the market reaches here and then it happens to give us what we maybe, if it happens to give us that, based on what I've taught you so far, is you want to sell it. Yes, let it be. Sell it then. But at some point, not next week, that week, I'll say, let the market get there to that resistance level. Let it give you a reversal pattern, which is we haven't spoken about patterns yet. I'm saying we're going to talk about patterns that week. So if you're not implementing what we've done so far, you're screwing yourself over because, guys, I'm just going to be piling stuff. And it's going to get complicated. Now, lady, if you're at work, come back from work later, just do reverse testing. Oh, actually, this is what I had. If I had seen this, I would have taken this trade there. That's a reverse testing. If these are my levels of support and resistance. Yes.
Do you want me to send that to you? Or is that something?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
do that sometimes, but then I just keep it to myself. Okay.
No, send it to the group. Just reverse testing. Let me just do an example, a perfect example. Let's say that's a resistance level, and then like, hey, if I'd seen this, I would have sold this because of 1 and 2. You know, and also on WhatsApp, you are able to. I'm just gonna do it right now on WhatsApp, just to give you guys, just put some context. I lost 5,000 today, 5,800. Fuck. I just want to make an example of what I'm expecting or what I would like you guys to send. Let's say I just took a screenshot. I'm going to send it to the group right now so that just add some context. You know, maybe highlight and maybe this is a bit too much, but all I'm saying, it might be a bit too much to do, but it's easier when we have screenshots like, oh fuck, my battery's about to die. It's easier to talk about, like, let's put some life, right? Oh, you know, just, yeah. Send a screenshot, put some life into it, and then